would never make an error mispronouncing something or anything like that. The year's 3020, and there's a Juggernaut pick.
Hey,
Kyle, Juggernaut.
I just talked backstage to somebody who routinely has his ideas from way, way in the future.
Okay.
Owen Odie Pixel Davies.
Oh.
The Magic builds at Juggernaut. Veil, Radiance, Maelstrom, Yasha, Kaya. What's a Timbersaw to do? You have the extra amplification from the AA. It could happen.
You know, this sounds very similar to another man who has unique ideas on Dota. That would be Jack, a.k.a. KBBQ, and his support Juggernaut build. Have you heard of that one,
I haven't, no.
The support Juggernaut builds, where you go all of the Blade Fury spin talents. The movement speed one, the DPS one, and you just roam around spinning on people.
Nice, I like that.
We've got some unique ideas on the table for Matama Man to make Juggernaut work in this meta.
I still think Death Star Luna's iconic for me just because it also made Merlini actually quit Dota forever. Which was when you get Ags on Luna, put it on the relocating IO into the enemy base, and it does everything. However, I will say, I love the AA pick. I was actually talking with Spartan about this, about, hey, what do you think deals with this first 2 Timber? Because I thought it was too early. It was UAA.
Yeah.
This removes the E from the game effectively.
Right.
You don't have that innate survivability any longer, and then you combine the Juggernaut. This hero might be a bit weak, but traditionally has always been excellent against the Timber, both in the laning phase and throughout the game.
Okay, so you just do a bunch of magic damage on him. You are going to build Maelstrom, so even your Omni Slash is effective later on.
Well, the big thing is, when Timber hits 6, for the most part, he's forcing enemy heroes out of lane, right? Juggernaut, a spin ultimate, you're killing Timbersaw.
Right.
Every single time. So it's actually he who's got to be afraid of Jug 6. Plus, if you start off early on, like, you're just going to spin. You force like early W skilling from the Timber. You can't play as aggressive. I'd like to see VP try and back lane and don't just try to 2v2 this, but utilize the abusive creep mechanics. I really like this ward placed from Secret, very heads up. You know you're playing against a Shaker. We saw this from Baited a lot, where he secures bottom and then just continuously roams around in between these lanes. You can't do that with this high ground ward here. It secures that very vulnerable mid morphling of Nisha.
See another roaming ward up there in the top bench. Secret, fully prepared for that kind of...
It's just right. Like, that's what it is. Like, it's just, you can see they understand, look, Nishas are win condition. It's Shaker with an SF mid. They want to kill our morphling, and they double ward to ensure that's not going to happen. You know, it's good. This is what you should do. I don't know really how else to put it. No one off to a great start, though. But that is what you should expect with a nuke first SF.
And it's what we've come to expect from no one mid. Solo really able to get away from Yapzor there. A Rubik Mars lane. Pretty scary, but that's a PA. Another hero that I'm not really that hype on. Why is it good here, Kyle? Well, that's concerning. You had an answer instantly for why Juggernaut was actually fine hero, but it would PA.
I am hard pressed to say. They picked it after the Jug, right?
Yes.
I've always liked Jug into PA. And I kind of like Morph into PA.
Yeah.
So I like having damage amplification with my PA. They don't have any.
They don't have any. Well, no. Well, they have SF minus armor. No one has. Well, he's made a boo boo. Okay, never mind. We've got Zions. He's gonna patch things up for him unless the Yapzor could. If he gets the telekinesis toss back a couple hits and Fade Bulb, maybe.
Was it boots early on no one? It looked like that's what he had there. It's the only reason. Nope.
No, he's just swaggy Shadow Fiend, and he moves around real quick.
Interesting, yeah. Off to a good start in the lanes, though. You can see that bottom. I liked what they did where they pushed in that initial wave and Shaker pulls the second and then immediately runs mid, right? Because he has that freedom now. Thing is, Matumba Man, just spin the wave. And now, level 3, you're going to be just okay. And I think the big thing here is, yeah, Resolution's having a game, but unlike traditional matchups, the Jug, when he hits 6, is the one that actually threatens the Timber, not the other way around.
Another Fissure. Fast double raised, maybe? No. Nisha already morphing into strength and is out of that precarious position. Bombed by 2 raises, but it does mean he can't really control the creep wave, and no one continues to stay ahead 13-4 now.
looking to make it happen, though. He's got a Fisher active. There should be 2 raises up on no one as well.
I'm surprised.
Oh, I like that
was
play.
just a
I like
blind
that
fish.
play.
Okay, yeah, sure.
It didn't work, but you know his head's in the right place.
Yeah.
He's aware of what the game state is, and this is what to expect from Rezo. You don't want to stay 1-to-1 against the Jug. If you're ever in a scenario as an offlaner and the enemy core counters you, think about playing with creep mechanics, because as a Jug, like, what are you supposed to do? Come chase him? Like, it's not going to get... And yeah, skills of W as well, so he's not as threatened by the spin.
Solo, pull back in, contribute, doesn't actually land, and Kuman is going to try and maybe commit here on a Zai. Yapzor takes the opportunity to be able to kill the courier, and Solo went for the nuke there on a Zai. Now he's actually just going to heal up. Do some damage to Yapzor, but Kuman is just low to commit anywhere here. Then out in the bottom lane, Solution. Took away the Timber Chain, and now Nisha's game is potentially recovered by this regen rune, but he is still having a rough...
It's a 0-0 game cap, and Secret are already 2,000 gold ahead.
Yeah. But at least they're winning mid.
And again, sometimes you'll see Morphs skip their Q. Not often mid, of course, but I like that Nisha's just not even putting a point in W, because it's all about playing around this Fisher and ensuring you're not dying. Because you can see, and this is where, again, I love the warding from Secret, because one, you don't expect it as VP, but two, you know, like, Shaker's trying to make plays mid. That's the game. Whoa!
Nisha just playing a little too cocky there, was trying to dodge that long range raise, and no one was very patient with him. Got a few more hits in, Puppy. Fortunately, the Cold Feet latched on a resolution. Otherwise, he could have been the second blood in this game.
Look, all of a sudden, check out the gold, right? From 2K ahead. Wait. It was Secret that was 2K ahead, right?
When I looked at it, it was 1K. But they were probably just barely 2K ahead.
Right, I just wanted to make sure,
right,
I just want to make sure it wasn't VP that was ahead after that Medusa gaff yet, previous game.
Don't worry, Kyle. You're wrong very often, but you're not that wrong.
That's good to know.
Good kill for Virtus.Pro. Nice rotation there from Zayat. After all, once he left the mid lane, no one was able to get the 1v1 kill, so he's not needed there, it seems. He's able to just keep moving around.
So I want to just shout out, I love casting with a home crowd behind me, whether I'm Ukraine, China, North or South America. Wouldn't matter to me, but you know the crowd is pulling for VP here against the heavy favorites in Secret. If that 11th man can help them out.
Sure, there's 6-minute rune, nothing there. And the races are stacking up quite a bit, so Nisha is going to have to be careful as a fresh round is there, and it's just doing more and more damage. Zai does manage to snipe Kuman's courier here in the top lane, and it looks like they're going to pull Solo back into his doom. Kuman looking for the turnaround kill here on Yapzor. Zai's going to try and protect his support, and with that level 6, well, Zai is actually going to be able to block him in. Nice Fisher. Yapzor still has enough room to be able to scoot around the trees. Blink Strike is still up, another dagger, and they will get that kill.
Yeah, you're okay with that, though. You're trading support for support.
Sure.
Zai's still just fine up top, but VP, all 3 lanes doing adequate. Rezo's had a pretty good performance down bottom. I expected him to do a bit worse, but you can see Jug is still free farming, and that's the thing. Rezo's getting farm, but it's not like when he's playing against these other heroes he can pressure, and that's the big difference here. That Matumba just doesn't have to worry about him too much, and he goes for that early Mask of Madness. It's a cool idea, because he will inevitably most likely want that MKB. He can split it into, is it Satanic MKB or Butterfly? I can't remember the two, but either way, it's solid here, and it's just the most cost-efficient item to increase your farm this early on.
And it's another idea of, like, when you're kind of having free farm, just continue to build up on that advantage. Science barely managed to live through that. Nisha committing so heavily with that waveform may end up dying to no one here. No one out of mana, though, for that last raise.
So scary, man. No one just playing this lane so well. I love him on Shadow Fiend, these aggressive heroes. I'd love to see them bring DP back into their arsenal as well. I think that's, he is the best Death Prophet in the world, and that's something I've always felt VP played incredibly around, because it allows no one to dictate the pace of the game. It's the other reason I like him on SF.
Look at that, double raindrops. Great way to deal with Oracle in lane, who has such heavy nuking power. Resolution. Well, if he can't pressure the hero, he'll try and pressure the tower.
Perhaps you can. I may just underrate this Timbersaw hero, as it appears Secret still just going to play away from him. no matter what. But I imagine once AA hits 6, they change. But oh wait, that's because
Hey, Fisher on it too. No one going for the TP out because there is no adaptive strike on Nisha. I don't know how he knew there was no adaptive strike this late into the game, but I guess he just never seen it, so he assumed.
I've heard, I've done enough karaoke to know Bon Jovi's "Living on a Prayer" by heart. Perhaps no one.
I would love to hear you belt that one out.
None of the viewers at home would, so let's just put a lid on that one. Zayak gonna just continue to play this mid lane. Puppy dropping a sentry. He knows there's got to be.
Wait for it. Yeah. Wait for him to come into the high ground to try and go for that observe reward, then catch him with the Fisher. Unfortunately, it wasn't a block Fisher. One long range raise isn't good enough, but no one will catch up to you eventually, Puppy. Always hunting with that Shadow Fiend. No one finds another kill.
We're gonna go for the Yules build here. Not sure. I think the auto attack build could have been nice here. Just to have something to play around with your Oracle. I'm a bit concerned that their just right-click damage is now all in on this PA, who really is going to have a tough time because you don't have that space you're looking for, because the SF and the Timber, they're going to eat your creep waves way faster than you're able to. I'm curious to see what item choice he's going to go for, whether the Battle Fury is his first item of choice, because I feel like that might be a little too greedy from the VP side.
I will say I think the magic damage build from SF is very good against these, right? Ever since they instituted the Fear, it's actually very good against heroes like Juggernaut and Morphling, who normally have it like an instant way to be able to deal with it if they don't get one shot. But now the Fear will actually make sure that Jug won't be able to get off his spin. Triple raised.
I like a lot of stuff so far in this game. I just think VP, they've been hanging in, right? Even that first game, they ended up getting, looked like a stomp at the end of the game. But until that miscue around Roche, they were the ones in control. And thus far, still feels the same. I think VP will definitely be the ones that are able to make the first move here.
And we said at the end of game 1, Virtus.Pro, they were in it. They just have to clean up their game a bit, and they'll be able to take on Secret just fine. Maybe game 2 will be a better showing for them, as they have taken that safe lane tower. Once again, they're at a tower advantage, just like last time. Resolution is having a much better game than last, where Kumin is feeling a little bit more threatened, not having the free farm game than Naga Siren last time.
Now Rizzo, I'd like to see VP finish up farming out those T1 items. Still, that's the Iron Talon now, but they're still missing one. Secret just found their final one, that Arcane going towards Puppy. I love picking that up.
Arena time. Oh, he managed to protect himself from the magic damage. Really well played by Solo.
Solo's a hell of an Oracle player. I'll never forget that game at Epicenter. What was it? Not last one, but the one before. That game, he cleansed off the Ravage on his friendly Luna before the Ravage hit him and won his team the team fight. Same with, he did it a W just before the finger that would have killed his Luna in a fight before. This guy is incredible on the hero, and I like VP when they're able to play around save. It just makes it simpler for their cores to play the game. They can focus more on getting aggressive.
All right, Solo, you've had some sick moves before, but I don't know about this one. He is actually going to pop the ultimate on himself as his team is coming in force to actually protect him. The Echo Slam actually goes down, doesn't actually catch any heroes in the stun though. Now the turnaround Ice Blast was a huge amount of damage, but with the SF ultimate, they managed to do a decent amount. The 2 cores though, these are all important to be able to catch Nisha. He is into the trees, waveforms out, they have no stuns. He's fine. Sadly, as many explosions as there were out there, none of the important cores on either side died.
Yep, and that's what happens when both teams clear out the enemy's ability to stun. Yeah, and look at Nisha rushing that E-Blade. Can expect that that'll be gunning for the Oracle in almost all occasions. That's really the name of this game here. Secret, kill the enemy Oracle. VP, kill these squishy backliners, Rubik and the AA. And I'm still remaining to be convinced about the Jug. I said I liked it, still do as a concept. The problem is, and we've spoken about this a lot with power creep, such a mechanic in Dota, it just feels like Jug might not be a good enough hero anymore, regardless of how good it feels in the game. Top of the net worth though, and I'm not going to count my top man out by any means. It's just...
Well, it's unsurprising to me, Kyle, that you would, a man who listens to his feelings, out of his head.
You calling me a Sith?
Of course, you bring it back to Star Wars. Anything that can go back to Star Wars.
Look at what I'm wearing, all right? My last name might be Palpatine still.
You do kind of look like
I can be a Skywalker if I want to be.
That waistcoat. We've got the mid-tier 1 tower that's under assault. This is Timbersaw Prime territory right here. He is 15 minutes into the game, approximately. Feeling pretty good. He's got his maxed out ultimate. He doesn't care about any physical damage, so he's going to go and punch a tower. It's going to be slow. Basically, chop it down piece by piece, but Secret don't really have that much to really deal with him.
Nisha's bringing me back to 8th grade. That anxiety's kicking in. It continuously drops down to 1 HP. Like, way too close to enemy heroes. He already got first blooded.
Oh, Regent picked up by Nisha.
Think about how different this game is if Nisha doesn't literally just die on high ground to give away first blood to no one. He's tied in net worth, but he'd have an edge otherwise, and that's his 1 death in the game.
Zayats, you've been spotted by a range creep, buddy. Get his healing ward. 75 gold. It's a little bit closer to your Blink Dagger. They're going to try and go for him now. Resolution. He's going to be pinned against the wall with the Ice Blast, and there it is. They finally execute a combination that's going to punish Resolution and his Strongman syndrome. It's very heavy there.
And that's the thing. This isn't the typical Timber game where you can just play with Reckless Abandon, right? If you get caught out by a stun AA Blast, you will die against this Secret lineup, and that just gives away mid-tower.
Maybe they could have done it if Solo was playing a little bit closer to him, but sadly not the case there. Meanwhile, a hero that can play with Reckless Abandon is our Juggernaut, because there is no BKB piercing disable here.
That's a very good point, Kat, and there won't be any for the duration of this game. It will be a Battle Fury build on the PA, but that means that this Virtus.Pro timing, it feels like they're strong, right? Your SF is huge, he's got that Yules, your Timbersaw's ahead, but because of this Phantom Assassin, they're taking their foot off the gas pedal instead of trying to get things going. They've yet to even really threaten this mid-tier 1.
Spin to win. Matumba Man once again dealing with any pressure, just entirely solo, while the rest of his team moves around the map taking objectives. But Virtus.Pro, I think they learned from that little bit of blunder they made earlier. They say this mid tower is very important. We're going to try and even things out here. Nice. Going to come in, TP out from Secret Nisha. It's a sneaky little TP. I'm not even sure if you could see that part from VP's perspective, but it's Resolution who's on the front lines. And without the Ice Blast, they can't really do much about him.
Yeah, but I love this. Like,
oh, they actually get the Yule Scepter onto Zai, hit him with the Fear, now try and double nuke him down. They actually missed some of it, but as he goes into the trees, not hit by the Spear, Resolution should be able to finish him off. Bumped by the shields, and he tries to go for Nisha. Nisha actually turning into a Shadow Fiend and trying to get some raises out. Meanwhile, Omni Slash onto Zai, it's already executing both the supports. No one's going to go for a TP, way hit by the Ice Blast, but he should live, I believe, as he was at half health.
Wow.
No problem. Resolution also dying here. Virtus.Pro, you said, you know, it seems like a point where they should feel strong, and Virtus.Pro agreed with you.
This is your issue right here, Cap.
Yeah.
The game's 4-on-5. So really, is that a fight you're ever going to be able to win as Virtus.Pro? You killed Zai, but to your point, that's the least important core by far on the side of Secret. Nisha takes over the Shadow Fiend, and just now you effectively are no one. You have all the nukes, and Rubik has a chakra. You have way too much firepower. Aether Lens already up on the Rubik, and keep in mind, this is Yapzor. He's playing against an Earthshaker.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to get scary for VP if he ever gets that steal off, and really just this chakram is all about going to use it.
What?
What? Oh,
What?
he went for the, he tried to get the Fisher. Maybe, maybe you never know if he, good Earthshaker discipline. You never walk around ever after casting Fisher.
Sure.
You never know when you might get ganked. So good job there to ensure he is spamming W off cooldown.
But yeah, as we saw, it's not just the Fisher, right? Like, Rubik can be pretty good versus Timbersaw if he steals the right spells. Chakram being one of the best at pure damage. Very effective.
You've got the Jug, makes Roshan easy. You can tank it. It might take a little while, but one of the two rules of Roshan is that you can always look to attempt it if you can ensure that you're at full HP at all times. Healing Ward guarantees it. Plus, you've got an AA. I mean, this choke point fight for VP is nigh impossible, especially when you have a Timbersaw. There's just not enough trees to reliably engage around this pit. Now it's an Aegis.
They may not do this fast enough. They're trying to finish off the mid tower and back up, but this fast smoke from Secret may be able to catch somebody on the way out. They're cutting through. Are they going to go up through the triangle? They will. Zion's going to lead the way. It would have been landed them right into the VP heroes where they were actually split apart, but discipline Secret.
It's so cool. They remove VP's ability to threaten mid as they cut the wave. They have a creep wave top, so they say, look, we don't want to chase them onto our side of the map.
Sure.
It's a sucker's play because they'll just get out of it. We're going to waste time, and we'll end up pushing in a less valuable, we'll be playing in a less valuable area of the map. Instead, straight towards top, VP, you've got to catch that wave middle, so you're not going to be able to deal with this. And if I'm Secret, I'm not even thinking about going tier 3. At least force it back into base like we saw in game 1.
They're going to do just that, Kyle. They know their tier 2 is under threat right now. They know that Virtus.Pro want to be able to commit to that. Timbersaw, he's going to TP in. Does have his full up charges, or at least 15 of them, but the tier 3 is already dead. He's been speared now to the melee barracks. Nisha putting in the damage, putting in the work. Takes a lot of damage from both the Timbersaw as well as the Oracle, threatening his life. Could they actually pop him? They will. They take away that Aegis. That's a good start. Now, they need the follow-up for life number 2, and it looks like Virtus.Pro aren't really going to go for it because they've got Kuman, who's still farming.
Yeah.
He actually has confidence in his allies to push his Secret back.
Well, he really just isn't a contributing factor.
Yeah.
It's like getting into a bar fight and your 7-year-old brother wants to get engaged. He needs time to come online before he's going to be of any use. He needs that BKB. In 20
so you're
minutes.
saying we just have to wait another 10 years and then Kuman will be ready to go?
Well, but it's Dota time moves a lot faster because
okay.
of weird time-space continuum stuff. So in reality, it's more about like 4 or 5 minutes from now.
Okay, so this is, you're saying that Dota acquires on that planet Interstellar.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, 20 minutes is here. And Secret have a lot of vision. Holy crap, look at that mini-map, man. They have lined it all up from this top jungle area into the mid, into that mid tier 2. They obviously are just looking to be able to control mid and top and just take pretty much like 2/3 of the map away from VP.
Yeah. I will say though, this dynamic changes a little once the BKB is up on PA, just because the supports are suddenly threatened. If you check out the Rubik and the AA, they don't really have that defensive item up yet, right? Like literally nothing. You hop on top of Yapstor or onto Puppey, like they're just dead. There's no force staffs up. There's no glimmer. That's when the survivability changes a bit. Oh my God, he went Deso.
Yeah.
He went Deso instead of BKB.
Well, you know, I appreciate the balls to be able to say, like, yeah, they're hitting my tier 3, but I'm not going to get a BKB.
If you see that as Secret, you just go here, don't you? I mean, they lost the Aegis. Otherwise, this would be a much easier push. But they're still significantly stronger in terms of a 5-on-5. You got to be careful if you're VP.
By the way, I think he's still not going to go BKB. I think he's going to go the Basher build next to try and threaten Matumba Man. I don't know. No, he's got to queue it up now.
I mean,
okay,
look,
that would be wild.
Here's the thing. It's a gamble. It's a gamble. If you get the BKB before that decisive fight, then the Deso is certainly worth. It's just a matter of what Secret look to do, knowing that they're at that advantage. And I just feel like them seeing that, they might look press here. However, they also have the Morphling, got a Jug, both quite farm.
To rush it, right?
Yeah. It's one of those games where it really just comes down to what the teams are feeling, and it can really go both ways for both sides. I think that both VP and Secret have reason to believe they will win in the late game, and it's just going to be decided by play, which I like, because I feel like a lot of games nowadays are just straight up decided by draft.
Yeah.
And you can sort of see the writing on the wall at all times.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, man. If he leaves him there, that's very bad for our boy.
Dire's middle tower
Another tier 2 down. Secret, you know, despite the fact they're controlling 2/3 of the map, right? They've got 2 lanes controlled. They've got the jungle. They've got a lot more towers than VP. They're only about up by 2K net worth. Not that much.
Blink is up on Shaker.
Yeah.
Out after Shuck. So this is quite nice. VP, you got to be cautious as Secret, because it's not the same as that previous game, right? Where they just had this Medusa Bristle. Yeah, use your spells on us. Go for it.
Sure.
Jug and Morph are elusive, mobility-based. You pop them before they get the spin, before the Strength Morph. Like, they just pop, especially with the Blink on the SF, because to your point, you follow up on the combo and get the AoE fear. That's so much lockdown. You're going to find that kill. And there's Kuman just straight up destroys the Rubik and went for the bots build too. So that's going to be something YapzOr is susceptible to for the rest of this game.
Right. I like, I think that play is really important because it meant that Secret was always defending bottom lane without having to commit a core. Once you have established that threat, though, now Secret, they're probably not going to do that again, right? Now it's going to have to be someone else who goes to the bottom lane. Oh, jump on through. Does not get hit by that. No one's actually going to go for the fear play onto the Morphling, the follow-up Fissure. They are going to be able to chain this stun enough with the Echo Slam, and they got him. Nisha dead with a killing spree, being given up to Resolution.
That crowd likes that one. With Rubik dead, VP look to get aggressive, and that's the advantage. This Blink Shaker, Blink SF, they have so much threat. And sure, PA can't necessarily commit in a hard 5-on-5, but he does so much damage, and he's still mobile. Nice job by Zai, clears out that top range Rax.
Yeah, he needed to actually spear up that SF2, otherwise he would have been caught by the Blink. You'll still may be caught by Zayat. They can't quite find him, though. They're looking into the trees, but Zai has kept on pushing. And the chants have begun. Home crowd finally feeling it. Cheering for Virtus.Pro.
That's the first one we've heard this series, Cap, and that should demonstrate how much faith they had in their boys in that previous game. I think the Roche fight really took the air out of the room, but 24-22 in to this game. And they're starting to feel it. Only 9-8, though, a very low-scoring game when you consider the aggressiveness that these two teams are renowned for.
Well, now, Kyle, I have to say, I saw a League of Legends game recently, and it was 23 minutes in with 0 kills. So it could be worse, you know? In the Twilight Zone, we might have been filling for full 30 minutes before something. A bit Chakram action. Scotty almost done for Nisha, so that's going to be one of those big upgrades, but I'm not sure if it's going to be able to compete with this burst damage that comes PA Earthshaker.
Yeah, your point. The disadvantage for VP was they were forced to play 4-on-5, but you know, Kuman going for that incredibly greedy build, it's paying off now. Battle Fury, Deso, BKB. Level 20 upcoming. This is when this Phantom Assassin starts to get real spooky. And again, it's really effective here just because both supports of Secret are very susceptible. PA is super effective against both.
Forgive me, what was the talent for PA? Was it the minus armor still that you have? The corruption? Oh, that's just a lot more burst damage, and then maybe the... Do you still go the triple dagger?
Did the SF go for the minus armor aura too? Well, he probably will, right? The, that's 25, but I thought maybe he'd go for the presence affects buildings. Because that plus the Deso plus the corruption, you just shred through structures. But I think the move speed's just too valuable.
You know, it'd be really hype for VP. Orb of Destruction. That would be very
nice.
We'll have to keep an eye on those tier 3 items, see what happens. A basher from Matumba Man, who's going to be following Kuman's lead on trying to get some BKB piercing disables.
I think Matumba Man's played a good game. But look at he's almost 3,000 behind the PA.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like Jug is gonna be strong in these fights. You think about it, just he's gonna need a really good Omni Slash. That's kind of been what Jugs will live and die on, is just how do these bounces go down, because you know no one could Yules himself. The PA could potentially blur leap away. Timbersaw will just tank through it. Yules as well.
Oracle save as well. If you just Omni Slash just onto one person, then that's an easy for Oracle.
I like that. He saw a enemy hero and immediately got scared.
Okay, spears him in with the cold feet on him as well. That's going to be a chain stun unless he can get off the Yules, which he does in time. That means also the pipe's going to go off. They're going to go for the ultimate onto Zai, trying to blow him up immediately while the X back line with Kuman. Oh lordy! He just ripped him apart. Nisha, he's still going for that SF with the BKB fading, but Kuman is on his trail. He wants him. He does manage to turn into a PA, jumping to his ally and Puppy. Now waveforming a little bit farther backwards. The SF ultimate stolen by YapzOr actually helps get the kill onto no one. Now they turn back for revenge. Science is dead. Kuman on the run, and E-Blade shotgun to the face with a telekinesis holding him there. Can he jump over to Solo? He can't. He's dead.
Got a little too aggressive there. Oh, VP bit off a bit more than they could chew. I think they're going to lose 5. And Roshan. That
is a team wipe. Fortunately for VP, Roshan not up just yet.
That feels like some deja vu, perhaps, Cap.
Yeah.
That one fight VP take doesn't go their way. Suddenly, they're up against the wall. Now YapzOr, he's got that Ghost Scepter. He's no longer immediately threatened by that PA.
You've been grinding it out for 27 minutes, and you finally felt like, guys, we're beating Secret right now. You just make one mistake.
Yep.
One team fight that goes a little bit awkward, but Secret punish you so much with that.
I think the buyback, no, that came out, was the AA Blast because of the buyback? I don't believe so. I think he just brought back the aggression, but either way,
Problem.
you're just not in a good position to continue chasing there. Once you've blown the Echo and the ultimate from the Shadow Fiend, those are your tools. The BKB PA and these big ultimates. Once those are down, Secret will dominate fights. You've got to get a critical advantage and then use those things and get the hell out of there.
They're taking this so quickly that Virtus.Pro, they're in the area, but not going to be there. Aegis and Cheese to Team Secret. Oh, grab that orb. Still low. The Chosen One. He's going to bring the orb back to Kuman, and now they've got minus armor on minus armor.
What is that? He talented for it as well, right? So it's 5 plus 7 plus 4. What is that, Cap?
9, 16. 16.
Carry the one? Yeah, you're right.
16.
Plus
it's
the 7 from the Shadow Fiend. So significant amounts of minus armor. Should expect somebody on Secret.
What is that, Kyle?
I lost
Plus
track of
7.
numbers. Where's the cost when you need to
No, Lacoste, where's the notebook? Oh God, Zayas is dead. He's been shotgunned. Now Kuman, oh, he gets off his BKB. Does he have a blur? Does he have a blink? Can he get away from this Omni Slash? He can for the time being, but now no one in the pot of saving Kuman is now gonna be caught. Zai, targeted by Kuman, but he knows he can't commit that one. No one does manage to get off the ultimate, though. He actually turns around on both of them. But Tumbaman activates the cheese, though. He's gonna be okay with an Aegis onto Nisha. He will come back and kill Zayas again. That's a dieback for him and a buyback from Solo.
It's the only hero that couldn't die, Cap.
And they also use their ultimate from SF. They use their BKB on the PA. Secret, they know they can punish this timing. They go for it there. Man, a little bit scared of these daggers. You gotta be careful. Waveform away, a tier 3 lost. Okay, as long as you don't lose any barracks here, this is not the end of the world for VP.
Does someone have an Orchid on the side of Secret?
Yeah. I don't know who. Oh, they have the Mindbreaker, that's what it is.
Okay,
That's the silence viewers,
and I'm just
yeah.
like, what's going on here? I thought maybe Metapaman already had finished the Bloodbone, but nope. Just that very effective tier 3 item. And as you can check out everything on your screen, you'll see that, again, it feels like Secret just with that edge in both the utility and the team fight. Ooh, cool, man.
BKB force right away, but you pointed this out. Morphling's always going to be going for Solo. Solo was ready for it. The Ice Blast isn't actually going to land, though. BP dodging through, but Resolution actually committing here. Going to be silenced up by that Mindbreaker. He wanted to go for the backline. Both sides do, right? Both sides had these heroes that just want to jump forward and kill a 4 or 5.
This is the timing now for Secret. You've got both enemy supports with no buyback for over 6 minutes. One pick off on the Shaker or Oracle opens up the base for you. You've got Blink up on Zai. The initiation and the reach from Secret is nuts, especially with that Blink on Rubik to boot. Satanic now on the Jug, so bursting him down is going to be nigh impossible, especially because I don't believe you even have a silence mechanic yet. So if you don't 100-0 stun lock this Jug, he is not going to die. You get ult off plus Satanic, you're full health at the end of it.
Lotus Sword being built by the Timber Saw could come in really clutch against both these cores. Have like some big single target spells that they use, so. Other than that, let's see, Manta for the PA. He already has, does he have Basher yet on the PA?
Yeah, no one.
He does.
Hey, know it.
He does manage to get the combination here, quickly killing Yapzor, no problem.
Yeah, I love this build later in the game as SF. That 25 talent, the massive CDR. This build goes ham. You have all these active items, specifically that Hex.
Yeah.
Blink Hex and have BKB, even when it goes all the way down to 5 seconds, the cooldown on it is like 30 or less. It's unbelievable. And suddenly, you'll have the ability to make plays like that all the time, not with this huge 70 to 100 second window in between plays.
I mean, another point would be that he doesn't even have the CD, right? But by the time, this late into the game, by the time Yapzor is back up, his ultimate's like, what, another 30 seconds? Like, that's, you can always use it just for a one-off kill from here on out.
The thing is, at a point, you're going to need to get that kill and go base. potentially into buybacks, and you're
Yeah.
very susceptible to being bought out on when you don't have your spells, and that's what I'd be concerned about. The Hex is huge. We talked about it. How do you kill this Jug 100-0? Well, that Sheepstick will certainly help out. And more importantly, it's nice. It's just so much more pleasant to play Dota when you have one of your cores as the primary initiator, because your DPS and that initial lockdown is there immediately, and then your supports can follow up. Makes it a lot easier to Zayek to position.
Kumin leading the way with the blur. His smoke is broken, but they still don't have the information that they're being hunted right now. Nisha, wave forming down to low ground, has managed to get away from all this. Secret probably have a strong idea by now. It's been so long since anybody has shown on the map. No one's gonna finally reveal himself in the bottom lane, trying to finish off his device. The rest of VP hold this high ground. C teams basically are going to be doing this constantly throughout the late game, establishing an area of the map that they just are going to play that high ground area, farming all the little areas around it, hoping that the enemy team will clash into them. Neither team wants to give up that advantage, so both of them just kind of stay split.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
VP. I mean, who really has the onus to make the first play here?
I think it's more about making the right play than the first play. You can see, I like what Matumman's doing. It's the little things, right? He drags the mid creep wave, that helps defend his tier 2, but he also takes it to the top, where he camps there for a second, grabs the arcane, backs away. Same thing from Nisha here, because you know, as VP, even if you look at, we have map packs, so we can see that there's really no one behind these cores if VP were to make a play. But that high ground area in your own jungle, you don't know who the hell is there as VP. So you can't make any sort of play once Secret position themselves further upwards.
Right.
It's a really nice way of sort of deceiving Virtus.Pro into just abandoning that mid wave. You can even see they're all now on their own side of the map because they were having 2 lanes pushed, whereas Secret had that one.
And Secret has a pretty good idea of how many heroes are up there too, because they have an aggressive ward inside of the Dire base.
It's a really nice ward at this phase of the game. It's all about placing vision where the enemy doesn't expect it. You just want to know, anytime you get a read on where one of VP's heroes are, you either can beeline for that location as 5 or to the other end of the map and hope you catch somebody sleeping while their teammates are not yet in position. Manta finished on the PA. Quite good.
Why Manta? Yeah.
You can juke the silence and the E-blade. I think that's quite important, because otherwise, as soon as your BKB fades, you just get all in on and you die.
Okay, here's the initiation on his side. They're going to follow it up with the Fisher as well as the side device. They're going to go for it with Kumin, committing for the kill, and Zai actually living just long enough to get off a God's Rebuke, but instantly buying back afterwards. Secret knew that was going to be the play the entire time. They were going to be buying back on Zai. I love the fact that VP didn't overcommit.
They knew it. It was a kill and out. And they didn't even use a BKB. That's huge.
They have everything left. They didn't even use the SF ultimate. Now they're going to have the opportunity to jump in again. Going from Matumman, but he does manage to get off the spin. Now, an Earthshaker who's been caught. Solo forced to use his ultimate to be able to buy out that Earthshaker. He's going to TP away, giving up his 5 positions life, though. Resolution trying to get out, but the telekinesis is going to be able to pull him back into his doom. No, Lotus Orb, Fuel Scepter, a Timber Chain away. Anywhere? No, he's speared to the trees and dead.
Right there, you can see why status resist was removed from strength way back when, because it became impossible to properly time your stuns. Well, Satanic, sure, it costs a lot, but it provides that same utility where it's just near impossible because all your muscle memory is wrong. And they just don't overlap stuns, immediate spin. Well, this fight's lost. VP's got to cut their losses and run, and there's still no Oracle buyback for a minute. This will be most likely at least 1 rack.
SNY and Satanic, that means that Virtus.Pro may have just made that one critical error off of just not reading the items enough. Matumman baiting that very nicely is now opened up for a push onto the mid lane of Barracks, and VP are left with 1 fight.
And it just further demonstrates Secret's understanding. No buyback on Zai. Well, let's bait Matumman. He's also got the Satanic, and he had a buyback in the event VP were able to pull that 100-0 off again. So even though that goes well for Secret, in the event VP were to successfully make that fight happen, it still wouldn't have created that decisive advantage to go get a Rax like Secret just did.
Right. Shiva's up next for the Timbersaw. Virtus.Pro just gonna farm. But if they just keep on farming, giving up a 3rd Roshan when you're 2 racks down like this, I'm not sure if they could survive through another Aegis cheese, but they may just have to.
Somebody's got to give our boy No One a neutral item. It is far too late in the game to be walking around with that slot empty.
He's got to have something on with it, right? Weird.
What's left in the
Well, they're going to smoke up, push out. And they're going to go for it without the neutral item. But the Aegis cheese and refresher have already been taken.
I think I gotta take that nether shawl or
Yeah.
whatever the what was that thing? The quiver, right? You have so like it's all about bursting a hero, right? That's a hell of a lot of plus magic damage.
Soon you're going to have the CDR talent as well, which should impact the quiver.
I believe it does.
Yeah.
I don't see why it wouldn't.
Say confidently, yes, it does.
As long as you say it with
gonna believe.
confidence, it most likely won't be Googled, which means you won't be proven wrong. God, imagine trying to like win arguments before Google. You know, hey, the sky's blue because of, I don't know, you make something up. How do I prove you wrong?
I mean,
Can't.
you would be governor by now. The way you confidently state things.
Senator. Maybe time travel. We'll see. Let's focus on this game. Cast range, that's huge for No One. You can see he's off from the target. With that telescope, he can now play far, far into the back.
Hey, Lacoste, did you ever get the math formula for us? 16 plus 7? Did you ever figure that one out for Kyle? Thank you, Lacoste. Thanks to our mathematician on the side. Apparently, the answer is 23. Thank you, Lacoste. Back into the game. It's 18-15, 39 minutes in. A 7,000 net worth lead for Team Secret, and they are on the hunt for that final lane of barracks. Sure, there's a melee barracks at top lane, but we're going to ignore that and say this is the final lane of barracks. The final big push from Team Secret. The final potential hold for VP, especially if they get caught out by Kuman. Oh, the spear actually landed onto an illusion instead of the real one. SF does manage to get off his ultimate, fearing back a lot of these heroes. Now he's going to be saved by Solo. Both the cores low, but not dead yet. Anyways, Nisha, he's going to jump forward. Throws out just an adaptive strike on a Solo as they now try and chip away at this tier 3 against the backdoor protection. Doesn't matter. They get it anyway. Lane of barracks now exposed. No One coming forward with the side, doing a lot of damage. Good spear comes out. The Echo Slam goes on. They control on the Matumba, but not enough. The status resistance once again coming in clutch, and Nisha is able to turn around, activating his BKB. Trying to go for No One at first, then focusing on the barracks. Oh, Kuman went in though. Kuman, he now needs to get out, but he's been spared to the barracks. They're now going to try and finish off, but there's going to be buyback out. No One being dealt with by Nisha. The Scotty is going to be enough. Just right click, right click, right click. He's now dead. More buybacks flooding in from VP, but they're left in a 4 versus 5. Only one building remains, and that's that top melee barracks. And Secret, they're gunning for it right now. Virtus.Pro, they're going to have to engage here. They just cannot afford Secret to go for that all-in. Kuman tries to jump forward, but he doesn't have his BKB. Solo's going to try and bait him out. The Lotus Orb actually bouncing back that Omni Slash. Save Kuman's life. He turns around, just pops AA in the head. Now he focused on Matumba Man, but it's Nisha who's the real threat, and that's why he goes for him. Managed to get the bash. Takes away his Aegis. What about round 2, though? Do they have the disables to be able to control up Nisha? They do manage to get that bash. Meanwhile, Matumba Man's going for the Megas. They will be able to finish off Nisha for one. Zai, he puts out the arena, jump over to the other side, but what about Matumba Man? He's got the Megas in hand. Virtus.Pro, they defend their base, but they're going to have to fight up against Megas. If they can get enough kills off of this, though, maybe they could force some buybacks. They kill Matumba Man. Now what, Kyle? Do you have to just go all in mid?
I just don't have the building damage nor the time to get that done. VP, so difficult. Like, they've played even with Secret, but at the end of the day, Secret has secured every single Roshan. Juggernaut, you did great there. They saved their cores in that initial engagement, right? Jug uses his Satanic, his Healing Ward, his Omni Slash. You have a Refresher Shard. Morphling has an Aegis and a Cheese. You're playing against like 8 to 9 heroes worth of resources, and it's just so tough to win that sort of fight. Kuman. Oh, hang on. Oh, that was an illusion. I thought for sure that was real.
That was the Illusionist Cape, I believe. Picked up by the Rubik. Alongside an Illusion Rune, maybe.
And, oh, double Lincoln. This is really cool. You got one on the Morph, one on the Rubik now. So all of a sudden, initiation from that Shadow Fiend. Remember how you talked about that could be VP's window into winning this game? Not a possibility anymore. And to your point, the other target is Zai, not relevant to the damage output of Secret's lineup, or the Satanic status resistant
The Illusionist Cape, it keeps on baiting them. He tries to jump for it. Kyle, you said they didn't have enough time, and you're right. There's just 10 seconds left until the cores are back up. They can get a mid lane of Barracks. That doesn't matter because they're facing up against Megas. VP are unable to force the buyback out of Secret.
To be fair, they have plenty of wave clear. The concern is just that Secret, because of the way their draft can hit and run, like you have a Morphling, he went for that waveform talent, so he's got 2 charges. Ooh, I like this. They're showing Timber, but they're camping the high ground. Does Secret have a read? Oh, I think they saw him.
Yeah, the bottom lane of Barracks, and
This ward, that ward above as well, that's so sick.
Yeah, they know exactly what's going on here. Yeah, Kuman once again revealing himself on that ward. They're still going to try and jump forward. They're baiting up Matumba Man once again. No, this time around the status resistance will not work, but maybe it opens up for Nisha to be able to go for it. Kuman's going to be saved by Solo. Tries to jump on Nisha, but Nisha jumps away with a waveform. Now he's going to turn into a PA and follow Kuman to his potential death. Waveforms over him. Kuman low on health, and he's done. No buyback from him. GG is called. Secret 2-0 VP and head to the grand final.
Yeah, I love it. You know, they composed themselves. They had a read. Instead of just, panicking, 10 seconds, they just send Matumba Man up to his death.
Yep.
Who cares? You've got buyback, and we can trust Nisha to carry this fight for us. Again, it was probably 99.8% theirs at that point, but still,